Okay, this is going to be a flip through of 5th grade curriculum choices for homeschooling. All of the curriculum that I show you is always going to be reasonably priced. I have used it. This is not my first time purchasing it and not using it. I have used it with my first and second child. So I know what I'm showing you is what has worked and what we enjoy, and I continue to use with my other children. So we'll go ahead and just start with Bible here. For each grade, we usually buy a Bible book of some sort and we read through it. This is the Action Bible. It's in comic book form. All of my children have loved this book. Then you'll see this in all of my curriculums. If you have a daughter, you would get the Polished Cornerstones, and if you have a son, you would get Plants Grown Up. This is a complete kindergarten through 12th grade curriculum, Bible curriculum. You'll never need to purchase another Bible curriculum. So this is the Plants Grown Up for young men. You'll just need this book, a Bible, and a notebook. And then for young ladies, you get the Polished Cornerstones. And again, it is for kindergarten through 12th grade. The next thing we can look at is the math. We do use Life of Fred. So for 5th grade, we would do fractions and decimals and percents. And I also have teaching textbooks as backup if we need that for additional. However, what I like to do is I start all my children on Life of Fred, and we stay on Life of Fred unless there's some type of an issue or they get bored. Life of Fred applies math in a real life format. So they know that numbers can relate to real life. They're not just memorizing numbers and math facts, adding and subtracting, multiplying, dividing, a bunch of numbers on a page that doesn't pertain to anything. Life of Fred helps them to apply those math numbers and math facts to real life. So we will stick with Life of Fred, and I really enjoy the Life of Fred curriculum. It's very thorough, and you will learn more than just math from these books. Okay, other thing for math, we will do Money Matters for Teens. For each grade, I will do one book on money regarding math, and I want them to learn that money is a tool that God blesses you with. So also for 5th grade, we'll go ahead and do Mathematicians Are People 2, and then Mathematicians Are People 2, Volume 2. With stories about famous mathematicians. So I wanted to, because Life of Fred will mention some mathematicians, and I just want them to see a name and put it together with, a story of who this person was, and what they did, and how they contributed. So that's the first one, and then this is the second one. Okay, so that was volume 2. And then for English, we will continue to work. You'll see this in all of my videos, is the spelling power. This is a 1st through 8th grade curriculum, spelling curriculum. You don't ever need to buy another curriculum. I do start this in the 3rd grade though, and we work until we are finished. So we do from 3rd grade to 8th grade, unless it takes them a little longer. And we use this curriculum many different ways, but it's very thorough. And there's literally no need to purchase any other spelling curriculum at all. For English as well, grammar, we do intermediate language lessons for grade 5 and 6, because the intermediate language lessons goes up to lesson 300. So I will split this, and for 5th grade we will do the first 150 lessons, and then for 6th grade we will do lessons 151 through 300. This is a gentle approach to grammar, to English language arts. It's more of a Charlotte Mason method, and just gently learning. So I'm all about gentle learning for children. I don't want to copy the public school system or any other homeschooler. The public schools are failing our children. We know that they are. As parents, we just are overlooking that for some reason. A lot of us are. And I don't ever want to take for granted the freedom that we have in this country to homeschool our children. Because I want them to love learning. I don't want them to hate their schoolwork or their school books, or just hate learning in general. Because our public school system is really good at destroying a love of learning that the kids already naturally have in the beginning. So this was a table of contents for the intermediate language lessons. And again, we would do half the book for 5th grade and the other half for 6th grade. Next thing we would do is this, all about homophones. It's a book that is all about homophones. So you have 2 words that sound exactly the same but have different meanings and are spelled differently. So there's games in here that you can play. There's worksheets. There's just words, sentences, and you fill in which word is correct. So we have no and new and new. Horse and horse, it's and its, way and way. This is one that everyone commonly misses. They're there and they are there. So this is a really good book to have for homophones. For health or anatomy, we'll just read and notebook our way through Christian Liberty Nature Reader Book 5. And the table of contents for that is here. We will be doing the 2nd book of the Berean Builders, Science in the Ancient World. Let's see, here's the table of contents. This book is from a biblical perspective. Each lesson is fairly short. You have a reading, a piece that you read, an introduction. There's an experiment with each lesson, and then after the experiment it goes on to talk more about the experiment and the results and the lesson. So Science Before Christ, Part 1. This is for all grades, elementary, middle, or high school. So here is the experiment. And then it continues after the experiment, and then each lesson has a lesson review. So the youngest students, that's for your lower or your elementary, your middle schoolers, and your high schoolers. Science in the Middle Ages. Okay, so for history, I still try to stay away from textbooks. We will read these books. They're little short books. And if the child wants further, if something piques their interest, like Abraham Lincoln, when he reads this book, if he wants to further research that, then we would just source additional material from the library or wherever we need to get that. So we would just read through all of these American history books. Okay, that's pretty much it.